Hello everyone, I am Brock Pickin. It is January 14th, and this is my daily video for my journey to 40. And today I want to talk about attitude and perception. So, today, I had a pretty crappy day. I slept in this morning, and when I got going, it was colder in the yurt than I wanted it to be, so I had to spend more time stoking the fire. And it gave me less time to sit and enjoy my coffee by the fire, so I had to rush out the door. And at work, people were just kind of in a funky mood today, so everyone was kind of pissy with each other. On my way to work, I actually noticed that I've got this huge crack in my windshield. It literally spread over the course of 2 days. It was a little crack. Now it's almost the entire windshield. And it was just sort of one thing after another, and it was just, honestly, it was a frustrating day. There was a point in time today where I was kind of dwelling a little bit on my conversation with my Uncle Bob the other day on the phone, and what could I have said differently, and I was just kind of in my own head and sort of thinking a lot about that, and that put me in a funky mood, and so there was just a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Okay, so now let me try this again. So today was actually a pretty good day. I woke up this morning, I had slept in a little bit, but obviously I needed the sleep, so my body got a little bit of extra rest. It did mean I had to rush a little bit more this morning, but I did make sure that I stoked the fire because it's really important for me to keep the yurt nice and warm for my family so they can all get a nice toasty room to wake up to. Still made sure that I spent at least 5 minutes in front of the fire with my coffee because that's something that I'm really enjoying doing, and it's way more productive for me than what used to be, which was mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching negative news or that kind of stuff. So I was glad that I still had the opportunity to do that. And I didn't get a chance to meditate, but I did close my eyes for at least 10 seconds and do 10 deep breaths. So that was really beneficial as well. Work was a busy day today, but I was getting juggled around from here to there, so the day actually did go pretty quickly. As well, we did have a friend come by and do some of the wiring in our yurt for our electricity, so we actually now have light, which is amazing. So we can see in the yurt, which is fantastic. And I'm gonna stop there. So did you see the difference between my description of my day the first time and my description of the day the second time? Truth is, both of those descriptions are true. All of those things happened today. I kind of went on a little bit of a rant there, but I didn't make anything up. It was all true. But isn't it interesting how we, more often than not, choose to focus on negative stuff? Or you hear a lot of people say, yeah, I had an okay day, but then they'll go and just complain about everything. And honestly, I'm guilty of it. I'm a complainer, and it's something that I'm really working hard to not do because I've noticed that I don't like other complainers. I don't like hearing people complain. I don't have time for your negativity. I have enough stuff of my own to deal with. And then I think about it, I'm just like, oh, geez, like, I complain a lot too. And I feel like it's also interesting that if you focus on something negative, then you tend to notice other things negative. You almost create negative things where there's always a silver lining. And realistically, over the course of any day, there's going to be good and bad things that are going to happen. It's very rare that you would have a day where it's all amazing things that happen or all horrible things that happen. Yet, too many of us, I feel, lean more towards focusing on those negative things. And I really feel as though if we just make an effort to focus on more of the positive things that are happening, that we create positivity, that we attract positivity, that we're generally happier as we go about our day. And it's also that attitude that affects others around us. don't you notice how you tend to gravitate towards the really happy people? Whether it's in your group of friends or people at work, there's always those really happy people that you just enjoy being around more, and they kind of lift you up. Why don't we make more of an effort to be like those people instead of the negative Nancy who just complains about everything? So here's a little exercise for you. Try for 1 week to not complain about anything. And if you catch yourself complaining, stop and then think of a positive spin that you can put on something. So, as an example, right now, I'm wearing wet boots. My feet are wet and they are cold and it sucks. There I am complaining. Well, my feet are wet and that's because I forgot to take the liners out of my boots. So that's kind of a tough lesson, but I tell you what the first thing is that I'm going to do when I get back into the yurt is I'm going to take the liners out of my boots and I'm going to lay them down by the fire, and they're going to dry by the fire, and they're going to be nice and toasty and warm when I put them on in the morning. There's a positive spin. That's actually something that I remember that's always stuck with me from my grandfather. My great uncle Bob, who I mentioned, his brother, Hugh. He has very few stories that I hear about from the war or heard about. He's passed on now, but one of the stories that I always remember him talking about was when they were eating dinner. If anyone was caught complaining about the food, they were the ones who had to do the dishes. So he said the guys would be complaining, this food is terrible, but it's wonderful, I'll have some more, and kind of catching themselves. And that's what I want you to try and do for the rest of the week. If you catch yourself complaining, put a positive spin on it. Just really, really make an effort to not complain at all. Just focus on positive things, and I guarantee you, you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to be happier, you're going to be affecting those around you, and just give it a try. So that is it for me today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you